YouTube, what is up? We are back after a week off last week. But it's not just because I wanted to take a week off. I did the research last week. There just wasn't any value in my opinion. It was the first week of the season where I didn't have plays. It's not fun when that's the case, but I'm never going to force action, guys. And I'm only going to give out plays if I believe we have an edge. That's just what it is, okay? So for this week, we are back. Our first play of the week is the Saints -1 hosting the Cleveland Browns. Guys, what is this line? I need to know. Am I missing something? Is there something I don't know? Is, who's playing quarterback for both of these teams? Like, if this is Jameis Winston, who's shitty, versus Derek Carr, who's a goofball, but he's decent, this line makes absolutely zero sense. This line is telling me that a 8-year-old is playing quarterback for the Saints. Like, what are we doing here? They're saying the Browns, because it's in New Orleans, and the line is -1 Saints. I've even seen some lines I thought that might have even swayed the Browns -1. I'm not sure. It's bouncing around a little bit. But they're saying the Browns are a better team than the Saints, and that's not true at all. They're both, record-wise, they're both shit, but the Saints aren't actually shitty. The Browns are really shitty. The Saints are fake shitty. The Saints, people think are shitty. They just fired their coach. Bad record. They're 3-7, but they did come off a win against Atlanta last weekend. But here's the thing. The Saints' record is really bad because they've had a stretch where Derek Carr got hurt, and they had Spencer Rattler playing quarterback. They had a rookie, nobody that can play quarterback. When Derek Carr's actually played this year, they've been a real football team. I'm not saying they're going to win a Super Bowl with Derek Carr, but they could win games. And when I say they can win games, I'm saying they could win games against good teams here and there. This is not a good team. This is a shitty Cleveland Browns team. They are horrific. People are still living in the past of this team. This has been one of our go-to fades all year. I bet against Deshaun Watson a lot. And now they have Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is horrible, guys. I don't know what this line is. The respect is kind of weird to me. Jameis Winston just flat out stinks. Hate to break it to you, Jameis Winston fans. Awesome person, great pregame motivation speeches. Love that. Good for him. I hope he gives a great speech this weekend and they lose by fucking 70. They can go fuck themselves this weekend. Nothing personal, but they just need to do what their track record shows and continue to be shitty. Jameis Winston is very careless. He's probably going to throw a couple picks. We love that. Derek Carr sometimes good for one of those too, but not at the rate of Jameis Winston. If you look at the Saints this year, under Derek Carr, remember this year they started off really hot. First 2 games, blew the teams out by like 70 points. And everyone's like, oh shit, the Saints might be legit, new OC, yada, yada, yada. And then they had that game against the Eagles where they kind of went flat. And then they had the game on Monday Night Football against the Chiefs, where Derek Carr got hurt. And then you had the shit show where Derek Carr came back his first game after being out for a while, and another receiver got hurt. So there's this whole narrative, and then all the Michael Thomas tweets coming out. A lot of Saints players tweets, the coach gets fired. Like, there's just so much negative press coming out against the Saints that everybody is getting perceived into thinking they're just the worst. And like I always tell you guys, our edge comes in the perception. We make our numbers, we trust those numbers to be the truth. And then the stupid narratives that go around that and that make numbers go the wrong way, that's where we're going to find our value. I don't care about, the players doing this, the coach that. The numbers are the numbers. And you look at last week, the Saints even won their game when they were like 3.5-point dogs at home, which is crazy. I actually was considering betting that game, but I was hoping to get a better number. But this week, they're being treated as the worst team against the Jameis Winston-led Browns that are 2-7. There's no shot in hell that's a good... Like, in my opinion, there's no shot that's a real line. I think a real line for this game should be Saints -6.5, something like that. Like, that's a real line for this game. The Browns are not a serious team. And I know the Browns beat the Ravens that first week. Who cares? It's one game. The sample size is 1. They got super lucky to win that game. Jameis Winston here and there, yeah, he'll throw you a good game. But he's very, very inconsistent. Derek Carr, I'm not saying he's the most consistent, but he's a real serviceable quarterback. Like, when it comes to the eye test, no, I'm not a big Derek Carr fan. But looking at his numbers this year, pretty good, actually. One of the better quarterbacks in this league this year under this system. Yeah, I know the receivers are out, kind of similar to the Bucs. But you know my philosophy on this. I really don't care about the receiver bullshit. It's all about the quarterbacks. You know, when Spencer Rattler's in there, the receivers aren't going to do shit. When Derek Carr's in there or Baker Mayfield's in there, they're going to make no-name guys get some stats and be like, oh, shit, maybe so-and-so's pretty good. That's kind of how this goes. So I don't care about the receiver situation. They still got Derek Carr playing quarterback. He's much better than Jameis Winston. Give me the Saints all day. Saints -1, 1 unit. A unit's 1% of your bankroll. As always, you never have to bet my plays. No risk required on your end. You can just watch as a spectator. That's it, boys. We have at least one more video coming out this week. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.